Today we're going to be talking about forces in space on a frisbee field. This is in the club South Central Men's Regional Finals between Austin Double Ed and Colorado, or I believe Denver Johnny Bravo. Two of the top club teams in our region, so probably, you know, the similar play styles in the South Central compared to other places. So let's get started. Pretty standard center to the field. As we see here, this guy was kind of marking flat. And really at our level with marking flat, it's generally okay. But uh, typically, any good handler will have any throw they want on flat. Typically, you want to do that on newer players, so it'd be good for us, which I think we will try to implement this year. But in this case, they are running kind of like a zone around this vert stack to prevent easy throws, and they got the free cut under with this. So if we go back just a little bit, see set up, free throw, and then they switch to a little bit more man. And with this, they're trying to take away this side of the field. All of this is not what they're trying to take away, and this just leaves this side of the field where all these defenders can actually do something. And you can see on this guy right here, it is very hard for this guy to get open over here when this guy already has position. And this throw is possible, it's just very hard, and that's what you're trying to do on defense. As Frisbee is just an offensive side sport, this guy has this guy will have to attack the disc space in some way to get open. But usually, resets are always fine if nothing's there, which all these guys are kind of inactive. This guy's in a bad spot. Swing to the center of the field is always a good thing you can do. And we see a nice little cut across the field here. This guy right here is already moving back in this way because his defender is right here. So it's very easy to just get open. It's okay to lose yards, especially if you can gain good positioning, which we're about to see. And immediately, it's called a throw and go. This guy immediately cuts to the side of the field, and since his defender was like already behind him, so let's say he was here and his defender here. He's gonna have to travel much further, and he's already behind him. So it's just the free around from here all the way to here, and you get power position from this, which when you catch a disc and you have movement, and if he catches it, let's say right here, he will have access, since his defender's still catching up, this whole side of the field to get open. And this guy is on the wrong side of the force, but earlier he was fine, so I had been imagining orbits. This guy will have a free cut across the field into an easy throw around. And we see this happen. He goes around. It wasn't this guy, but you see this defender orbited to take away this side of the field, has better positioning. However, now this guy can just cut down and get the free disc. Another thing you see in handle movement is a bunch of switching, but we can see this guy here is on the wrong side of the force. Earlier we saw that they were on the left side to force flick to this side of the field, However, since he's over here, he has this side of the field. And typically, if you see, this happening as a defender downfield, like I said earlier, you want to orbit around your guy to get the advantage. But as you saw earlier, this guy was over here, and this guy was still here. So he had the free cut, and it's just the easiest swing. And now look at this. Both of these guys are on the wrong side of these guys. So continuation, it's a very simple thing. Run just straight out, run deep, or if you're deep, cut under. Very easy throw, especially if defender's lagging behind you. But watch the defender right here. He goes around, stops flat, and boom, he's on this side of him now. This guy recognized that the biggest threat was this side of the field, so he's trying to take away this throw, and it's got the hard throw from the inside. And the defender will be catching up from the orbit right here. Throws a little fake, and reset. Now again, this guy was trailing behind. He's going to probably continue with his momentum this way, and I assume this guy will come back around to seal. Kind of a seal, flat. It's mostly fine, but he can still get really whatever he wants on this guy. So yeah, important of a seal. He was flat on him. Get that a little bit better. He was flat on him, and it allowed him to get this backhand around. Say he was more here on him, this backhand is not available. And this little flick here gives this guy a very good opportunity to get on this disc right here and potentially make a play. Guy makes a good layout catch. And then I don't really agree with this crossfield hook. Uh, not a very good look in my opinion, but when you're really good at throwing, really good at catching, you can get away with stuff like that. All right, so here we see a kind of a poachy defense right here. This guy's going to take away all of one thing, so he's taking away this whole side of the field. And this guy is kind of taking away this whole side of the field. There is a squiggy little gap you can get in here, but usually you're just forcing them to make a reset. Um, it's okay to start out this way because typically you don't want just stall one hook. Any of these guys can go deep, and it's a good way to like slow the game down. So we see him dump it back. This guy doing a decent job holding this force. He's still far out, which it's kind of okay. It prevents any. It gives you more time to react and get a D. You see this? He's flat now. Typically, when you're flat, you usually want to be communicative about it. This guy is way out of position right here. Um, so if he was forced flick, he was more on this hip of this guy. There, he's taking away this whole side of the field. So this guy is completely out of the equation. And the defender here is marking no strike, which means this guy could just run up, get a flick, or he can go back and get a big backhand. Those are really the only options. It's generally better to let the dump go off rather than the strike. So if this were to happen, this guy's already got a foot on him to prevent that. But if you do flat communicate, you can have your off handle mark him flat this way. So you can't just throw straight at him. He has to put some floaty thing out in front and back or over the top, which makes it a lot harder. Another thing, after he caught the disc, the guy was like right here, came out and around to seal this, and now he's back. Going out and around kind of prevents the you know tighter throws from going off because it gives you more time to react. And see how he's like more on this side of him. No backhands getting off, which this guy would really enjoy because he has such a good spot on him to get that along with this guy. Yep, just like I said, he kind of switched back to flat. Any good handler will see that and make that floaty backhand out to this guy. Yeah, here again, no big is also a good way to describe this. Marking flat, it's really hard to get like a big winding huck off of this because you're just right in front of them. Hucks, a lot of the power comes from with the body and not like having your arms out. So it's very easy to get blocks off this and prevent anything deep from going out, as you saw this guy just a second ago. He was immediately running deep. He was looking for it. This guy, he's staying in front of him. Even a flick there is very hard. Backhand would what he would want, and you get a lot of time to react, especially if you have the flat mark. Another good thing, handler strike, the vert stack that they're running drops back to get the reset. And now this guy right here should either go around to seal this way, since all of these guys are right here, backhand around would be very easy. And then after that, he would want to go back to the flick that they're forcing. He drops it, but you can still kind of saw the guy go around to this side, and then he was looking at the disc to see what to do next. Also, an important thing, handlers, take your time going to the disc. Um, it's very easy to just run and pick it up, but look at all this. Four guys are unable to do anything right now. Be patient, but that also means cutters, you gotta be working to get back on offense because a slow offense can be good, but if all of your cutters are behind the handlers, you're not gonna be able to do anything. Beautiful example right here about getting the seal off. This guy picks it up. This guy right here, no clue what's going on. This guy should be playing tighter defense. And we can see throw goes off. He's already behind. What he needs to do is get over here, put up this no around mark, take away the side of the field. And as you can see, the continuation, this guy's already running over here because his defender is also out of position. It'll take a lot long for him to catch up. And we can see right there, he's slowing down to flat, and which really needs, he should have been going way over here to prevent this. You can be very extreme because you know this throw is going to be wide with how much, field space there is over here. And so he should have been way down here. Flat is just not where you want to be. You really want to exaggerate it. Gets the big throw off. This guy. Another thing is field positioning. He, you don't really want to be this close to him. You usually want to go way around. So he was kind of falling like this. Now he's kind of out. He's going to come back around to go flat to him. Yep. Gets back in close. Handler drops. This guy doesn't need to see anything. Handler reset. Again, marking flat to prevent anything from going this way. If he really wanted to, if this guy really had him burned, a backhand over here is here. This guy's poaching. Kind of not the right throw. Resets to the center of the field. This guy kind of sealing this off. Next biggest throw would be this one out here. You saw this guy try to start running for it. So here, this guy is going to do a little throw and go. Threw it to this guy, and immediately you can already look at his feet. He's going to start running this way to get the strike, and his defender's going to have to be out of position to catch up. It's just a little throw around to him right there. Again, very much more exaggerated. This guy, he's already falling forward. He's got foot off the ground. By the time this guy catches, he's already going to be in position to get the next throw. Another thing we'll talk about later, switching. You saw this guy was guarding this guy a second ago, and he picked up this guy. However, he kind of slipped and fell, and now this guy's going to have free reset. This guy's too far behind. It's kind of hard to stop this, especially if you trip and fall. But this guy already going out this way. So much open field to work with. Like, it's not even funny. And typically you want to throw out to space because the disc is going to glide a lot longer than you think. So putting out a space, let the guy run onto it. It gives them more separation from this guy. And then they assume there's going to be a quick score after this. Boom. This guy's already out here taking away any of these throws. Comes back down. Now he's going a little bit more flat. And then I don't hate this throw. It's kind of over the stack, like I said earlier, but look at the separation between these two guys. Even if it's floating, he's really far away. He has time to attack the disc. It's just a good put. So we'll see it. Right to him, and a score. All right, we can see a nice vert stack forming right here. Kind of clustered, but typically that doesn't really matter. It'll create a lot of picks, which is not very good for the offense. So I'd recommend getting a little bit straighter. But this guy, he knows his teammates are going to be on this side of the opponent. So he wants to take away all of this side of the field. And he's giving this side of the field, which honestly isn't that bad for the offense because it's easy to run on, put it onto space. So as long as they get beat, it's good. But that's why the defense is here. They have to run through them. And we can see this guy got beat. This guy's coming in to help. I imagine he'll still get this though. Good defense so far. A little bailout throw. We can see all of these guys are defending these guys. This guy is poaching way into the space because he knows this guy's forcing into here. Make that a little bit prettier. All the space over here from this. But just a nice little easy throw when everyone is, you know, worried about everyone else. Nice little throw. And then, so this guy came down to help try to contest that. I assume there's a guy way down here that he was defending earlier. And I assume there's just a little hook for the score. So another important reminder, stay on man when you're on defense. If your last back especially. So we see a little split stack being set up. We got 3 guys here, 2 guys here, and what they're doing is just all this open space in the field. They're gonna try to run onto it and make a play from there. I believe this went out the back, so they're gonna take out the brick. A lot of set plays can be started from this. It's a good way to get momentum. So we can see force here, all this open space. And the black defenders know this, so they're gonna, set up positionally where the white offense has to run through them to make a play. Yeah, you saw a second ago, this guy was kind of like flat, no around, flat, forcing backhand, which is kind of okay sometimes. At our level, right on there. Dick in pocket, as we say. You just really don't want to prevent throws like this because if you're forcing this side, this guy's in the right spot. But if you're not doing your job, this guy's not in the right spot to get a free throw. And if we run that back 5 seconds, doing all the right things, this guy cuts out to create all this space. Even though he's still trying to get the disc, he's opening up half the field for this guy right up in here. And so we see him create the space. This guy does a little shimmy. Guy's kind of flat. And just a big flick out to this guy. If it was a better throw, that would have been really good. But, sometimes handlers make mistakes, and it's just not what you wanted us to do. But that was just bad defense. They just got lucky on that. It was really uncontested error. So typically, when you want to switch on defense, you really want to be vocal about what you're forcing. Flat, no around, flat to I guess home for them. Home sideline is, for the white team, this is their home. This is away. For black, this is home. This is away. But you see him forcing flick, which typically you want to do if you're vocal about it because not a lot of field to work with. And you really want to be hard no around because if they get back to the center of the field, it's kind of wasted, and usually you're going to get left behind, and it allows for more throws to go off. That was a good play for offense. Valiant defensive effort on this guy, but that's what they wanted. They were forcing this throw up into here. Forcing this throw, and the defense was right on him. The two defenders. This guy's got a good line for the disc. This guy's got a good line for the disc. This guy just makes an amazing grab. And then if you poach off and don't get anything, you're likely going to get burned, and that's on you if that happens. All right. This guy does a good job of setting up the flick. This guy's kind of taking away this side of the field. This guy's taking away this side of the field. So really the best option, reset to the handler and continue play from there. This guy doesn't really need to seal because they're already forcing the flick. So they're just giving up this side of the field. Earlier, this guy was like right here, forcing there. So typically, well, not typically, you always want to stay the same force. There's some instances where if they get a swing off, you want to seal this fast. Sealing the biggest throw is usually what you want to do. This guy does good. Start out here, went all the way back here. He's even behind the guy now. And that was all to prevent this throw from going off. and that's just really good defense. Forces them to go more to the sideline, and if this guy keeps marking flat, they're gonna have less and less room to work it up until they have to get a break around the mark. That's just a good throw and go. Threw it to this guy, immediately striked. It's just an easy upwind throw, a field throw. Yep. And again, this guy should be hard flick. There's not a really big reason for him to be here, and he's just going to get a throw around to either this guy, because usually when handlers make eye contact with the other handler, that's their sign to get active, get open, so they can get a reset. And we're going to see that he's going to drop. This guy bites, good defense, and then honestly, that's what we want. This guy was kind of poaching onto this guy. Got to play tight handler defense, and or else they're going to get yards like that. Good job, this guy. Going way back. Dick in pocket. This guy's probably going to just cut to the sideline, get the disc. And then kind of gets bailed out with a little bladey flick. Handler, or this guy poached way off into this space because that's what they're forcing. But you still have to be wary. Good handlers, they'll throw over you. But just be communicative, and you should be okay. Yeah, this is pretty pathetic. This guy's poaching into this lane right here. So he's preventing any throw from going down over here. And that gives even less room for an available throw to come off over in here. But with this guy marking like basically flat, it's just the freest reset around. And then there's one, two guys, just no one guarding them, wide open. Yep, continuation swing. Now, yep, he's gonna go mark the guy. Kind of flat, kind of far away, prevented this big throw from going off to this guy. That's good defense. And then now we see him gonna come closer to him. Still, actually, no, he just stayed flat. Let this big reset around. I would have been a little bit happier if he was. I don't know what they're forcing, but I assume if he was here, it would have been a little bit better. But big around, you don't want that to happen. This guy should seal off this continuation throw. Yep. This guy was kind of lagging on, flat, kind of not flat, and then there's just big throw around to get massive yards. And now the defender, he's kind of lagging behind. Honestly, oh, but there's call in the field. He gets lucky. Play resumes. And yep, just a good score. Deep huck. Honestly, if you're marking flat, you're almost giving this up. This defender had good positioning all the way through. It's just really hard to get that up. Actually, no. This defender was actually doing nothing. If he's marking flat, the throw is always going to be coming this way. The defender got out in front of him. He's not doing anything, and he's just going to float right onto this guy. Towards the end, he made an effort to get in front of him. You'd see this. He's now in front of him, but any disc, if they put it right, it'll just float and it'll go out this way. Or if they really have you beat, they're going to put that flat and straight and they just run onto it. And that's a score. Another side stack set up. Handler defense. This guy's kind of just guarding the upfield like this, and this guy's kind of taking away the other thing. Not the worst when you're starting, but another thing with the side stack, they're gonna typically flood to the center of the field with two guys, and the deepest guy's gonna cut right under. And that's why it's really important to force this, because this guy is gonna put this backhand out to this guy, and the inside's a lot harder to get. Now they come into a little vert stack. They're marking flat. It's a good throw. Reset to the center of the field. This guy seals. One drops. This guy should have been more onto this guy's hip. But then he does a little throw and go. And good strike. Just in. Yep, and that's a score. So handle the defense. We'll talk about that later. Most people won't need that for a while. All right, looks like they're doing a backhand force now, taking away this side of the field, forcing him to go this way, and then all these defenders are taking away by being in that side of the field. Off-handler defender kind of poaches in, kind of forces this to get them more to this sideline. And that way, if this guy's more on him, they have less of the field to work with. And we see this. Like foul called. Same thing happens. Handler ejects. And this guy wasn't hard enough around. He was kind of flat like this. Free around. And then I assume continuation throw all the way over here. This guy's lagging behind. And any one of these guys can just run and get the free under. But see this? He knows this throw is going off. So he's already going here to take away this side of the field. This is what we want. Seal that off. Now nothing can happen. All these defenders are in the right position on their man. Another swing, another strike, and another big round. Uh, this is what kills teams. They keep letting off these rounds, and that's how you lose games. You have to be no round. At this level, athleticism kind of plays a bigger factor, and you can make plays, especially you see this in the air. This guy's already running right onto it, and not fast enough. Falls. Yep, another break. Gets free swing. Goes around. Gets free swing. And especially if they keep getting breaks this side of the field, if they keep marking the backhand, it's going to open up just more and more of the field. So that's why we force. You want to take away as much of the field as possible with that, because let's say if guys over here getting forced like that's not what I want. Forced like this, he's only got this much of the field to work with instead of this much field to work with. So importance of forcing right there. He's kind of flat now. Handler's playing a little bit tighter defense. Kind of puts a floaty thing up. Yep, another break. This guy coming down can get another free backhand continuation. Does he? I don't know if he sees it or not. No, just a little late. Kind of a drawn cut. And then defense, you can't be lazy. If you see a big throw go around to the side of the field, instinctively cutters are going to follow it, and that's what this throw is. Just a nice or big around to this guy, catches it, and this is important, especially when they're gaining a bunch of yards fast. You got to stop it. Momentum is a big thing in Frisbee, and being able to stop it and slow the game down will only benefit you on defense. Yep. Another thing, he sealed, went back to flat, let off another big around, and now this gives more momentum. This guy can just cut here and keep it going for the offense. He doesn't. Handlers work it around a little bit. A little bit errant throw, a little high, but typically you got to seal this off or this throw around will get off more times than not. It's just a really easy float it out, let your guy run onto it, and the defender really can't do much about it. Foul was called, I guess. Handlers work it up. They switch the force to flick. Lets off a backhand. Defense is a little bit different in the end zone, but still the same. This guy is taking away this side of the field over here, and this guy should. It's really hard when they're like this far out. There's less space to work with, but you want to be like in between him and the disc, really facing him, not the disc, because that is the fastest way to get burned. And then, yep, good switch. This guy is getting cooked, and this guy recognizes it, so he's gonna peel off, take this guy that's sprinting to the space. Yeah, especially on the goal line, this throw cannot get off. It is just unacceptable. So this guy right here, this guy should have been marking way flat. Honestly, he could have been here. Like you want to let off any of these throws. These guys, it is their job to not get beat, and it is this guy's job to not let this throw get around. And if this guy gets it, this guy can go here. This guy's already wide open, and it's a mess. This guy does a great job getting here to seal it instead of being flat and letting a throw off here. He's here, forcing this throw to the sideline. And exactly after I compliment him, he goes flat, big throw around, and it's just you can't stop that. Yep, looks like they're forcing backhand again. They want to get to this side of the field because they're trying to minimize the side of the field that they can throw on. Um, this guy's just wide open, so if he goes back to forcing here, big backhand here. Another thing with defense, you gotta stay in a way to prevent them from just going into the free space. Yeah, and good handlers, they'll put it flick or backhand if you're marking flat. It doesn't matter. Oof, really bad throw. I don't know what they were thinking here. I assume they wanted this guy to drop. This guy's not really, he's taking away this side of the field, and any backhand will be fine here. But miscommunication, I guess. This guy poaches down, gets the grab, and another thing, playing hard defense. We got 4 defenders now behind the disc, making this a 4-on-3. So you want to be sprinting back. Guy does a good job of sealing this, makes it so only this throw is now possible. This guy's here, got a foot on this guy, so he can't just run here. He'll pick him up. Another thing, the dump reset is very easy to gain space on your defender here. So let's say we have, as they are right now, the guy here, guy 45 back, defender playing here, guarding the strike, and a guy playing here, forcing throw like that. This guy is going to want to cut across. This guy is going to put a little floaty pass right to him. And then the easiest thing to do, big throw around to the side of the field, originally taken away by this guy right here. Makes it very easy to get open and gain yards. And we kind of see that here. Nothing there, so this guy seals it off. Try to do the exact same thing, doesn't work, goes the other way. And yeah, just high stall count, you gotta put that up earlier. Gotta trust your handlers, but another turn. Again, play kind of slow, lay your offense set up. Guys marking flat. On never a bad thing to set it to the center of the field. Good job on this guy taking away the side of the field. You know your defender's here, and they want this throw, so taking it away is really good. Force him to stay. That's not what I want. Force them to stay here. Guy switches the force, which I'm not really sure. Think goes back to flat. Good switch. Still just moving it around. And this guy absolutely burned. If this guy was here, this throw's not possible. That's importance of marking flick. And now we can see this guy has so many options. This guy can keep running, but this defender's looking at this guy. He knows this guy's coming down. He's got his guy beat. This is just going to be an easy upwind throw to this guy. All right, can't see the handler. Come back. This guy, again, typically when you want to stop a continuation throw, here, you don't want anything to go up here big, so he's taking away any flicks, big hooks, and now he's going to go a little bit more flick. I don't really know what he's doing out here when this guy's here. This throw is still possible. Throw straight across is no possible. It's still possible, so kind of not doing anything. Being here would take away this, and you just got to trust your defenders downfield to stay on their guy. Yeah, this guy, same thing, right here, could be sealing this off. Let's another big throw around, and now this guy will have this side of the field to work with if this guy doesn't stop this. Yep, and he does. He gets right on him. This is going to be a hard throw, but some handlers will have this inside. But this guy's hot on his tail. He might be able to get a D. Yep, takes it away. Swings. And yeah, you got to stop the next throw. That's just hard, but gets them more to the sideline. Prevents the deep shot. Good seal. Comes back here, stops this throw to this guy. And then anything, well, most handlers, they can get really anything into here. Yep, just get it back to the center of the field. I would have loved to see this guy swing it out to this guy, but this guy's still kind of close. He could have gone in the way of that. Yep, This guy's going to jump back over, seals it. Not very well. He still could have gotten that. Backhand off. Let's go back a second. Yeah. If this guy's fast enough, this throw around, boom, boom, boom. All these guys are on the wrong side, and they would have gained so many more yards there. Yeah. Another important thing, uh, being kind of like flat like this doesn't really stop these throws, and it doesn't really stop these throws. Don't be angled. Take away one thing is a big takeaway you can take away from this. Gives it back to the center. Flips the force to prevent the swing. Kind of good. But now this guy's on the wrong side. This guy's technically on the wrong side. If they want to, they can get a little inside around into here. But not the biggest deal. Your defender should be able to eat it up. And as we see, this guy flipped the force. Guy was here. Guy was here on the wrong side. And it's just an easy run to catch the disc. This guy's to catch up. So always be communicating. Always be watching where the force is and orbit around. Let me get let me bring that back. So orbiting, we see they swap the force from here to now here. This guy should see that, and when it was like this, he would have been on the right side. Now he needs to be on this side. And we could see that he doesn't orbit. And now look at this. He's on the wrong side of him. So this guy's a free straight shot into the space, and it's just a real easy throw. So always be paying attention. Doesn't even need a juke step there. Saw him do a little boom boom. Doesn't even need that. He's just already got a step on him. Gets it. Another questionable put, but what are you gonna do? It's club. They can do whatever they want. They're better than us. All right. Probably be the last point that we watched today. Again, taking away the left side and the up side of the field. Flat. Saw he was kind of flat. Shifted this way. You gotta pick one. You can't be jumping around because it just opens up throws. This guy was probably on the right side of him if he stayed flat or even flick, but this guy's wide open now because there's no one guarding that side of the field. Good job being no around here, but as if you're the other handler, you want to be more out here on this guy to prevent this strike up here. And that gets off. Kind of does a okay job of sealing this off. This guy's still out of position, so I should flick around. So that's another importance of being no around. And then this guy's still out of position, should be sealing, but he's not. This guy's wide open. All of this space is just free for throw. Yep. Again, this guy should still be sealing, but he's not. And that's another score. So, sealing, forcing, and space. You want to be taking away at least one thing. Anytime anyone will have whatever they want. Typically, we will be forcing flick here, make this pretty, and here. This makes it so this guy can only work with this side of the field. And let's say they're, keep it simple, it'll be like a little vert stack. Here, 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 here. Probably another handler 45 back. Wrong color. Here, 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 and here. So any throw they can make to this space over in here becomes a lot harder now because these guys have better position to get there first. Typically, in a vert stack, there's two places they'll cut from the 5, the back of the stack, or the 1, the front of the stack. And the way they're going to do that is they're going to cut out, either make a shimmy deep, a shimmy under, and go the other way. But, they can also make multiple. I've seen it, and sometimes it doesn't work. A good thing you want to do is either walk out and then do it, or just go deep first and then come under. Both do the same thing, but to break it, easiest way to do it, run this way, get the disc, throw it around over here, and hopefully one of these guys is running off to continue to get it. And that is everything really about force, sealing, space. So, thank you.